Hey guys, Thunder E here, and welcome to another build video. Now this video is a little different because this PC has been already built. This was our original Ryzen with Vega build. You can go ahead and check out that video. Solid performer for 1080p gaming, nice frame rate, and of course an ITX Ryzen build. Now what we're going to do here in this video is upgrade this to the brand new Ryzen 2600, which is of course a Ryzen 5 processor. Now, the reason why I want to do this and showcase is the fact that the Ryzen processor is really easy to upgrade. You don't have to change a motherboard, you don't have to change much if you just want to simply upgrade your processor. You just have to change the chip because the Ryzen processor runs on the AM4 socket platform, so which means it's easy from the Ryzen 1 to jump all the way to the Ryzen 2700X, for example, and upgrade. But of course, if you want to get more from the system, you will change the motherboard. Now, that being said, check out that video for our Ryzen 2700X build. It's an awesome processor, great for 4K gaming. So we want to see how well this performs. We add in a GTX 1060 Mini to this as well. And those are the only two major things we add in. The other thing also is an extra storage, just because we wanted to actually have some more storage on our build. So let's go ahead and upgrade. So really the main thing we're changing, of course, is our CPU from a Ryzen with Vega to the Ryzen 5 2600 right here. And that's pretty cool because we don't actually have to change anything. The fans are the same, so we could replace the fan if we want to, but we're sticking with the fan we have here, and we're just going to actually keep our motherboard the same. So it's the same ITX motherboard. We've got our Ryzen 5 2600 we placed in right there. Looks pretty nice. And don't forget, thermal paste, guys, because of course we're putting in a fresh CPU on this build here. And then we're going to screw down our fans in to make sure that it's secure and also gives us some cooling, because we're definitely going to be needing, because we'll be doing some gaming on this system. Now, the one thing I will mention is that I forgot how small this case was, so I had to try and rewire everything. So I kind of gutted out the case. Again, this is just my own thinking. Depends on what kind of case and what you're using with it. And of course, you guys will notice at the end that I kind of gave up halfway on my on my cable management, but it is something that, you know what, you got to do. And the cool thing about this build, at least for me, is the fact that I was able to take something that was going to be just a basic build and then improve it and just amp it all the way with the Ryzen 5 2600. Now it's all built in, everything looks pretty good there. We've added our GTX 1060, we've got a 650 watt power supply, so we've got enough right there. We added an extra SSD for games, so we've got two. Our system is up, lighting is on there, and we're ready to go, and Spider-Man is pulling us in. So let's start off with our first game, which is Call of Duty World War II. Now it's all set at ultra resolution 2560 by 1080. We've got a GTX 1060. You can see how well it's handling. One of the things that I liked was the fact that bumping up from that Ryzen with Vega to the Ryzen 5 2600, I got better performance. I was able to actually push things much harder on my system, which is pretty cool. So I was able to actually game and get, of course, this kind of frame rates you're seeing, and also just the smoothness overall on the system, which is nice. I haven't actually played Call of Duty World War II in a while, so of course you guys are going to watch me die quite a bit, as in most of the games you're going to see here, maybe except Doom. Speaking of Doom, we have it also set at ultra and resolution 2560 by 1080. Gonna just go ahead and reset that. And we're getting some really high frame rates. Now in Call of Duty, we got about 60 frames locked. Here we have about between 70 to about 90 frames per second. Doom is a fast-paced game. I really like playing Doom, just personally, but also like playing it while testing out builds, just because of you know, the fast pace and also a lot of things going on the screen at the same time, and seeing how well the system handles well with that. And the 2600 does a good job here paired with the GTX 1060. Again, really pushing as much as possible and getting a whole good frame rates off that. Now we moved over to of course Battlefield 1 here, and our frame rates are roughly between around 51 to 52, 2560 by 1080 again. And we are pushing this at ultra. We're trying to see how far we can go forward with this. And again, things look pretty smooth, runs pretty well. Frame rates sometimes goes up to 60, depending if you're not getting into a firefight. And it looks pretty nice. And I think that's something that a lot of people will appreciate with a build like this, and also if you're upgrading. And that's why, like I said, one of the reasons I like the Ryzen processor is the fact that, you know, I could have had an ITX build from Ryzen 1. I can still use that board. I can also still then upgrade it with a Ryzen 5 2600 and get this kinds of performance. You know, if I was using a GTX 1060 Mini from last year, it really doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It would just improve the performance from there. And finally, of course, the game that everyone has been playing, Fortnite, which is not a game that I technically play that much or that often, but I wanted to see how well it handled here. So Fortnite is the only game we actually ran at 3440 by 1440. And the resolution and the game is spec'd at high, not ultra. We just wanted to see what it would actually do at max resolution for graphics like this. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. Of course, again, like I said, I don't play Fortnite that much, so I'm probably gonna die pretty soon and not even actually take anyone out in the game. But again, you can clearly see how smooth it's running. The frame rates are up there between 70 to 80 roughly, and you're getting some really good performance off the system. And that's what I like. So again, for me, you know, upgrading from a Ryzen 1 to Ryzen 2 makes a lot of sense. And also it's cost effective too. You don't have to change your whole system. You can add things. You don't have to actually swap out a motherboard or even, you know, changing your cooling or anything like that, because the AM4 socket really is built for that kind of upgrade process that makes things easy for a lot of people to actually go ahead and take the benefits of a processor like this. So you know what, let's see if we can get into some firefights here. And I can see somebody hopping around over there, and I'm most likely going to die pretty soon, as you guys will probably guess. People are shooting at me. Gonna see if I can take someone out. See some gunshots on that side. Now, see, the thing with Fortnite, I don't know how to build well, so I'm gonna die in 3, 2. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, let's go ahead and round up this video. Alright, so hopefully this video gave you a good idea of how easy it is to upgrade a Ryzen processor. Whether you're moving from the original Ryzen 1 or to something like the Ryzen 2600, which is actually built in here, at least now, you can see it's a very easy process, and the cost effectiveness really holds true. You don't have to get a new motherboard, you don't have to actually spend any extra unless you want to. And that's one of the things I like about the new Ryzen line. Now, if you guys are looking to do something similar like this, I'll leave the links down for you guys down below. You can purchase it off Amazon and support the channel that way. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, don't forget to hit the like button, also share, and definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So this is Thunder E saying thank you very much, and always enjoy your entertainment.